This video off. It's actually nighttime, finishing this up for the evening, and yeah, we got us a blue tie rod. I love this. Illusion Blueberry has very quickly become my favorite color. One of the ones that I've shot, you know, out of the many, obviously, as we stack up powder down here. You see there behind me, there's a couple parts lined up because we've been busy. It's just chaos around here lately trying to get stuff done. Job after job after job. Leaves me little time now to film, but I'm doing it, getting it out for you guys. And as this thing cools down, we're gonna dive into the next project of how to make this thing steer a little better. It is the next morning now, and as we saw, we have this tie rod powder coated. I love it. It looks absolutely phenomenal to me. As usual, couple of tiny little imperfections, and I think it was I touched it with my palm, and there was just a little bit of grease on it, but it's my tie rod, and as long as I have an imperfection on something I did for my own things, I'm not mad. If it was for a customer, I probably would just redo this whole thing, but instead of just rambling on and on and on, threw a little bit of anti-seize onto these ends. We got the Heims back in, so basically we just need to pull these spacers and the bolts back out. Everything is all cleaned up underneath here and ready, and partially the reason that we did this was I wanted to get ready for a show that's coming up, and also why would you install anything on that tie rod? And by install anything I mean, ta-da, steering stabilizers. So this is generic RC components is what I believe they are. There's an eBay kit for a 2008 and up Ford F350 Super Duty, which is funny enough not what's behind me, but we're gonna make it work anyways. That's the front axle we have, and that's what we got here. One little thing I wish I wouldn't have cheaped out on is this kit. This is cool. I love how there's a U-bolt that goes around the axle tube. This part bolts to the differential cover, and we'll talk about and go over that in a minute, but these are the ends, and these have these little U-bolts that go around around the tie rod. And I wish I would have got ones that had clamps. It's not permanent. I could change it out down the road if I wanted to. It's nice that they all came powder coated black, and I didn't have to powder coat those parts myself. Yeah, I wish I would have got the nice aluminum, you know, two-piece clamps that clamp over and then have like the stud that sticks out. But it's just me rambling at this point of, and just being nitpicky. But I say we go ahead and get the tie rod on. Quick time lapse. We get the tie rod on real quick, and then we'll go through and we will figure this part out together. 'Cause I actually have no idea. And of course, even though they gave me some fancy packing with like velvet on one side to keep it from scratching the powder coat, there's no instructions and no stickers. But it's a nice day. We're gonna make use of it. Not quite nice enough to try and dive into the Raptor liner or anything like that, but it's no big deal. We could do that down the road. For now, I just want to get this thing. Just want to get this thing installed, maybe do a little lap around the block, drive it around, get some B-roll, something like that, take some pictures. But now I'm really rambling. I just need to get some work done and take use of this weather before it turns nasty. Man, there's so much blue going on there, and my screen's all messed up, but yeah, so we're gonna dive into this installation. Like I said, it's an RC Components, I believe that's what it is. It's eBay brand, steering stabilizer, dual steering stabilizer I guess, but super simple it looks like. Grab this bracket. This top part I don't necessarily need with these two bolts, but we're gonna bring it over here anyways. That's all. This is part for the, like, it's a shock protector it looks like. I don't know. That's no big, but these two bolts line up with these two bolts, and then you have these two here that go over the axle tube with a U-bolt, well, from the back side, and then yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up. Like I said, this is just was me mocking up to figure out what I got to do. The shocks are going to come to this top part. With these going through, we have all these U-bolts like I said, and yeah, I just painted the U-bolts with some rattle cam. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, excuse me, you have all that powder coating stuff, and yeah, sometimes you just gotta be lazy. I wasn't going through and powder coating all those, not just for something. I'm looking at that now, realizing just about to say something that's just gonna get road grime, and yeah, those are really big and really important. And I mean, come on, look at that, it looks so good. But, like I said, get a quick, simple install going, grab some tools, grab some sockets and an impact, and start busting all this stuff apart. Milwaukee, let's do this. And like that, we're done. Super simple. I mean, it really was nothing easy. Was that a Freudian slip? It was actually really easy. It was just annoying trying to make sure everything was level, line everything up. The no instructions part was a little bit of a kick in the pants, because at first I thought they wanted me to use these through bolts, and in reality it was the studs, which made sense because that's how a normal shock would mount on like a C10. So these are just steering stabilizers, so they're like a shock. But tried to make sure they were centered pretty much, which I feel like they are. I did measure, I pulled the head all the way out to measure full extension, and then compressed as much as I could to measure full compression. And then I took that number, divided it in half, and then extended the shock out that far. Just, you know, so it has half its stroke out and half its stroke in. Hopefully that's right. Again, no instructions, a little bit of a kick in the pants. But I guess the true test would be the keys and attempting to start this thing. And every time I walk over here, I'm not used to the part, so I walk over and I go to open the door, and the door doesn't open. And I'm like, oh no, I locked myself out, because I don't have a door lock key. Which I need to get a locksmith over here and have them do that. But I guess like I was saying, yeah, the true test is let's take this thing for a little bit of drive, see how it does, and I don't know, let go of the wheel and see what that feels like. I'm rambling now. Let's just, oh well, I guess see if it starts. That's the first thing. Messing around and doing a bunch of wiring stuff. Oh, it's my favorite part. I have a dome light now. Yay. Head, fire it up, and pray that it drives good. I don't know, pray. Should drive good. Should. Need to fix that stupid ignition switch, how it only catches in some spots, which we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's just let this warm up and let's get out of here. Ignore the wiring mess for the stereo, so I gotta fix that. Spider webs, hell. I just bumped my mirror. Ooh. happy about that. My wheels don't fall off or anything. Definitely a little more stiff. I'll give it that. It's returning to center a little bit quicker. No idea if the camera's still filming. If you guys can hear me. Oh, did it move? It looks like it moved. Damn it. Well, that worked fantastic, and by fantastic, I don't mean the filming, that's for sure. Definitely that clip sucked. I did not realize the weight of the G7 was going to make that mount go whack and swing like that. At least it sounded nice for you guys, right? But yeah, the only noticeable, you know, probably negative difference I would say is my power steering does not like how big these tires are, how much leverage there is on everything. So at a dead stop, it's a little bit annoying to, you know, try to turn the wheel. But so you just let it roll, you let off the brakes and let it roll 1 mile an hour, and you can turn real pretty easy. What I'm contributing that to be is the fact that now there's steering stabilizers fighting to go left or right, plus the fact of my steering, and the, even though it's a newer redhead box, it's like a couple months old, it's just, I love the look though. Definitely filled out the front end, and I have some real estate for, I don't know, I gotta get another Average Joe Builds sticker set so I can throw one on there, but everything looks fantastic. Loving the overall package. Did a little bit of a nut and bolt check. I am realizing, I'm pretty sure my brake lines are on upside down. Pretty sure this one's supposed to be on the other side, and the other one's supposed to be on this one. Need bigger tires. I have those 38s in the backyard, and I'm thinking about turning them into burnout tires after I turn these into nothing, but no leaks anywhere that I notice. Everything just seems happy. I want to go through and I want to bedline all 4 wheel wells, clean them up, and I need one last hanger, something to catch the end of that. But in the daylight, that looks a million times better. I don't know about you guys, but as an overall package, I'm extremely happy with this thing, especially after the last few days, few weeks of driving, etc. Did notice my headlights, actually I shouldn't say my headlights, I didn't notice my brights are on always. Can't get it to select low beams. Did some searching on Google and stuff, and I found out the dimmer switch generally does that. Plus mine's never really clicked the way it's supposed to, so grabbed a dimmer switch to replace it, do that off camera, and hopefully soon the weather allows us to get this Raptor liner going, because I don't know about you guys, look at how the bed of this looks. Just look at the bed of this. The bed is just terrible. One of the last parts that, like I said, I want to do the bed, and I want to do the headache rack in either Raptor liner or the bed, and then just use some spray cans on the headache rack for some bed liner that way. Getting down to the last little bits. Stereo, bed liner, headache rack, and I need to figure out a front bumper. I don't know about you guys. Obviously, yeah, the grill too. Don't say anything about the grill. But I really need a front bumper on this thing. It's just, even if I have to just build a tube one or something, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. You think an aftermarket grill, stock grill? I almost bought a stock grill. Fabbed up some mounts and just got it to work. Because if you also remember, my horns are cut like super flush almost to the cab mounts. Been thinking about actually taking all the rivets, knocking the rivets out, replacing them with bolts, and that way I can make a bracket that catches in here too and comes out. And that way it's not welded to the frame horns like the last one was. But with that, like I said, nothing major today. Quick, another little video like that. Trying to get a bunch of little content out like this instead of 30-40 minute videos constantly, because notice those don't do as great. Hell, I don't want to sit and watch 40 minutes of some dude talking either. So with that, if you haven't already, subscription button down below, please and thank you. And throw me a comment while you're down there. Let me know, you want to see more burnouts? You want to see this thing at the show? Should I dyno it at the show? Should I even go to the show? 4-hour drive. I'm nervous. Done 60 in this thing, but not for 4 hours, that's for sure. So with that, I'm gonna let you guys go. Average Joe builds. We're out of here.